Welcome to the Podcaster's Guide to a Visible Voice. Reveal and define your voice to speak your truth through the power of podcasting. And I'm your host, Mary Chan.
So let's go.
Welcome to the Podcaster's Guide to a Visible Voice. Thank you so much for joining me on this podcasting journey that we are going to go on. So let's get right to it. As the first episode, I wanted to highlight audio versus video. This is something that I've always advocated for, even when I worked in radio, but more so now with the increasing usage of video for social media and how we record everything these days on these fancy devices in our hands called phones. Radio and audio has always seemed to be the black sheep of the family. When it comes to video or TV or movies, it's the often looked over part of the process. And everyone is looking to video these days as the next marketing move. But did you know that with bad audio, no one will be watching or listening to your video? They'll click away. Crappy audio can ruin the best looking videos, so make sure your audio is representative of your brand, and your voice will be more visible that way. There was once a band that put a video up on YouTube, can't remember the name right now, but what they did was that they decided with their new release of their single, their song, they decided to record it by singing outside and around one microphone. I mean, the video looked good, but it just sounded okay. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you could hear the wind outside, and not everyone was huddled around the one microphone close enough, so you can't hear the song fully. Like some of the singers were just sort of in the background when they should have been more full force because that was the main verse of the song. And it got some views, that video did, but they decided to redo the video with that exact same song, but this time with proper audio, where they each had their own microphone. The instruments were recorded on their own separate mics too, and everything was almost like the CD-like quality, you know, back when we used to listen to songs on CD. It made them look more professional in their videos, even though the video quality itself was the same. That video with the improved audio went viral. That's the word people are listening for these days, right? Viral. Listeners were able to capture the entire essence of that band based on the video, yes, but really because of the excellent audio. They go hand in hand. People expect great videos to also have great audio. Audio is taken for granted, and when it's good, people don't notice. That's the expectation. So that is a good thing when people don't notice your audio. Think about, too, when you're watching a TV show or a movie, all the different sound effects, the music, the speech, what the actors are saying, they are all interlayered within each other. You don't notice the subtleties because they are all so well orchestrated together to create that world that you are watching. As an example, I know on the TV show The Walking Dead, they filmed that in Georgia, just outside of Atlanta somewhere. And from what I understand, because I'm in Canada, I've never, ever been to Georgia, I hear there are a lot of bugs. And especially at night, they make a lot of noise. I think they're called cicadas, right? Let me know if I'm wrong, or let me know if I'm right. I think they're cicadas. And these bugs have a different pitch or sound depending on the time of night. So when they're filming The Walking Dead, they can film at 6 p.m., midnight, 2 a.m., and over the course of that night, the cicadas or the bugs will change sound over time. And so what are you going to do for that consistency in the sound? The background noise would have been different because of the bugs. So for that consistency, what they actually did was strip away all the bug noises in the background from that original recording when the actors were talking. And then what they did in post-production, so after everything was filmed, they brought back the bugs as a sound effect to create that consistent nighttime feel in the Walking Dead world. So it's just one bug sound, and they just layered it on top of the voice. And that's how they created that magical world of The Walking Dead. Would you have ever known that just by watching the show alone? No! And that's the audio magic that I'm talking about. Audio is the theater of the mind, as long as your speech is balanced. So what we're trying to do here is make sure you're not recording the audio too loudly that it's crackling. Ah, you hear that? Ooh, yeah, ooh. And it doesn't sound like you're in a big, empty room. Echo? Or that the music isn't too loud. Sorry. Let's try that again. Or that the music isn't too loud. Okay, phew, better, right? Okay, you get the hint. Research shows that communication is 55% body language, 38% in your tone, and only 7% in the actual words you use. So when you're podcasting, and in the traditional sense, I'm talking about just audio, no one can see you. Your communication will all come down to the tone of your voice. So take a look at how you can create confidence in your voice and what characteristics of your voice can lead and influence your listeners. So what I'm talking about here is that your audio has got to sound professional to represent the professional work that you do. The quality of your audio will allow you to be more visible with your voice because people will not turn you off because it's straining to hear your show. On your podcasting journey, listen to your episodes with a critical ear, but only after. I'm not talking about when you're actually recording. When you're actually recording, I want you to just at least start with making sure that you have good content. But we'll get to that later. So for this episode, your little piece of homework is just to listen to your most recent episode. And if you don't have a podcast yet and you're just starting out, just record a pretend episode. Hey, it could actually turn out to be your first episode. You never know. And then listen back. How does the sound of your show make you feel? Is there something that sounds off, just not quite right or amateurish instead of polished? That could be a sign of improvement. Don't worry yet, though, about how to fix things. I'm just talking about after the fact. I want you to just listen to your own work and hear how you sound. How does the show make you feel? And if that is exactly what you're going for your show. So right now we are only listening, not for the content, but how you feel when you listen to your show and start there. This will be your springboard to a visible voice. So with that, thank you so much for listening. These episodes are going to be short and sweet because I know as a podcaster, we are constantly doing the work to publish the episodes. So there's so many things to do. We don't always have time to listen to long podcasts. So I understand that. I'm taking that into account for you. I want you to just take these small steps at a time to create your ultimate sounding podcast. And if you love what you're hearing so far, I'd love for you to follow me on Instagram. I am at Visible Voice Podcast. And let me know if you have any episode ideas. I have a big list going on, but I would also love to know what you want to hear about first. So let me know. Hit me up on Instagram at Visible Voice Podcast. Thank you so much for listening to the Podcaster's Guide to a Visible Voice. If you enjoyed this episode, I'd love it if you'd share it with a podcasting friend. And to reveal more voicing and podcasting tips, click on over to visiblevoicepodcast.com. Until next time.
Let's go.